Let's connect our Meta Ads data to Google Looker Studio. Go to powermetrics.com and start a free trial. And also remember, we already have a free forever plan as well. Start a trial, log in with your Google account, select your account, and connect with a single data source because this time we are only connecting Meta Ads. Now I will select the Meta Ads integration and I will connect my Facebook profile. So I will click on Add Account. Here I will click on Reauthorize because I have done this process before. I will show you the settings I have, and my recommendation for you is that you opt in to all current and future pages, so you don't need to do the back and forth of authentications anymore in the future. Here I will click on continue, I will click on save, and got it. Now I will display the Facebook profiles I have connected already in the past. I will select this one and I will select this ad account. You can actually connect multiple ad accounts in the same connection if you are monitoring multiple ad accounts like brands and clients. Here I will go to create report, and this means that we have already created our connection and we will be redirected to Google Looker Studio. We will wait some seconds for our report to load, and once your report is loading, you will go to save and share, click on acknowledge and save, and you are done. We will wait some seconds to load our report, and we have created our first Meta Ads report on Google Looker Studio. Let's see what we can do with this Meta Ads dashboard. First, I will show you your main Meta Ads KPIs. I will break them down in conversion, engagement, and visibility metrics. In conversion metrics, I will find things like purchases, leads, custom conversions, and if compared with ad spend, I could know my cost per acquisition, my cost per lead, and so on. In engagement metrics, I will find interactions just as clicks, link clicks, outbound clicks, views, reactions, comments, and so on. And also I can know the cost of them, the efficiency. So the cost per click will be an example. And in visibility, I will find metrics like impressions, reach, frequency, and CPM. Now I can segment this data by different levels like campaigns. So I can take the same metrics I am using in the top and I can break down by campaigns or creatives. And this is a very good overview of my overall Meta Ads performance. Now, if I scroll up again, I will show you that you can actually filter your data by ad account, by campaign, and however you want. You can use these filters on Google Looker Studio. Even remember, we can change the date range so we can visualize this year, last month, today, and so on. Looker Studio is dynamic with the data ranges that you want to select. Now, this is an example here this month, and if I go to the next pages, I will show you campaigns creative. So let's go to campaigns. In campaigns, this stream map is very useful because I break down first at campaign level, then I see the ad sets within these campaigns, and I can see the creatives within these ad sets within these campaigns. That's why this pivot table is useful. And as you can see the performance of the structure of your ad account here in the same table. If I go to my creative performance report, now you can see any metric. Here I am using the hold rate, the CTR. You could use hook rate, ROAS, and any metric that you consider to measure the effectiveness of your Meta Ads creatives. And also you can break down your data by creative. We can take the images, the links, the copy, the buttons, all the elements of our creatives, we can put them in a table in Looker Studio and we can compare with any metric. And as you can see, I like to use conditional formatting so I can highlight particular well-performing metrics like the CTR, just as the example here in this case. Now, I will go to another page. To me, this one is very important. It is attribution for Meta Ads. It turns out that with Meta Ads, I can have conversions in different attribution settings. Maybe you have heard before about conversion windows. Well, with Power Metrics, I will say we are the only connector that does this at this moment. The way we do it is that we let you bring all the conversions with all the conversion windows so you can compare them all and you can have a better view of your attribution. For instance, with purchases data, I have my general purchases data and the default conversion window is 7 days plus 1 day view. But here I can compare with 1 day click, with 1 day click and 1 day view, with 7 day click and 28 day click. If you are not sure what I am talking about here, I recommend you to learn more in our tutorials on conversion settings or attribution settings on Meta Ads. But this is useful because you can compare your conversions in different ways, in different attribution models or attribution settings with Meta Ads. If I go to another page, to summary, if you maybe are creating Google Sheets with your KPIs shown in a vertical view. This is another way to do it with Google Looker Studio. I can bring any metric in the same table, and I can break down by date, by week, by month. This is like a P&L or a Google Sheet view that you can also mirror on Looker Studio. And I will say this is more dynamic and more visual. Another page that we created is letting you break down your data by audience criteria, like the gender and the age, the countries, the devices, the brands, and so on. And also, one of my favorites, the funnels. The funnels views are very useful because they are very practical. They are practical because I can map all my metrics as a funnel so I can see where I am having issues. So I have impressions, and these impressions leads to some link clicks, and these link clicks lead to some landing page views, then to adds to cart, then to checkouts, then to payment info, and then to purchases. But maybe my conversions are leaking in one of these stages. And as well, remember, I can break down all this data however I want, at campaign level, ad set, even creative level. Now, if I go to my budget paging, this is an actual template that you can actually fill with data and parameters automatically. But what I want to show you here is that you can do budget pacing or budget tracking for Meta Ads on Google Looker Studio. Here, I am comparing my actual ad spend versus a target or versus my budget set on Meta Ads. So this will be very useful to compare the actual ad spend, the pacing, with your target. And this is everything that you can do with this Meta Ads dashboard on Google Looker Studio. Now I will show you how to customize and create your own dashboard on Looker Studio. See you in the next tutorial. Let's create and customize our Meta Ads dashboard. From the template that we have just created, I will go to the plus icon, I will add a new page, and I will rename this page. It will be called Meta Ads. After this, I will add charts. So I will go to add a chart, I will select scorecard, and I will set some KPIs. So I will go to setup, and as metric, I will use amount spent. I will also add a comparison date range. So I will turn this on, and instead of none, I will select previous period and apply, and it is just a matter of duplicating this scorecard. So the second scorecard will be something like link clicks. And after link clicks, I will use purchases. And I will do the same with other metrics. So besides purchases, I also want to visualize purchase conversion value because it represents my revenue, and also the purchases ROAS. With this, I think that we have enough fields to show already. I will organize the size of these scorecards, and we are done. The next step is I will create a new chart. So I will go to insert, and I will select time series chart, and I will paste it right here. So I will visualize my data over time. As I am visualizing my data over time, I need a different dimension. The dimension I will use will be date, and I will leave the metric purchases as it is, but I could change it for something else. Now, I will scroll down, and I will add a new chart. This chart this time will be a table, and the table will let me segment my data by date, but also I could do it by campaign. I would like to create a campaign performance report. So at campaign, the metrics can be the same as I have used before, or I can use new ones. So I have purchases, but I could use amount spent. I could use as well link clicks. I could use as well purchases again. And now I am breaking down my data by campaign. If I duplicate this table, now I can break down my data by campaign, but also by creative. So let me change the dimensions. Remember, a dimension is the way I can segment or break down my data. Here I am doing it by campaign name, but I will do it this time by meta ads image. Also, I will add the text. And with this, I can display the full creative from meta ads. I could be bringing something else. I could be bringing the links, the call to actions, and the link previews of my ads. But so far, we are done with our Meta Ads creative report. And as you have seen, we have created the Meta Ads KPIs with scorecards, a time series chart so I can monitor my purchases or conversions over time, and also a breakdown by campaign and by creative. We have just created our Meta Ads dashboard on Google Looker Studio.